Very good morning to all of you. Dear students, I hope you all are fine. As you know, we are doing the chapter The Rat Trap. Yesterday we have discussed about the Iron Master, that he had done so many efforts to take the rat trap seller to his home. Now let's continue this chapter. It was not more than half an hour before they heard the sound of carriage. What do you mean by carriage? Carriage is a vehicle pulled by horses. Wheel outside the porch, and a new guest came in, but this time it was not the Iron Master. He had sent his daughter, apparently hoping that she would have better powers of persuasion. Persuasion means to influence someone than he himself. Now, what happened? Iron Master thought that his daughter, who is his daughter? Edna Wilmanson. So, his daughter has better persuasion than he himself. कि वो ज़्यादा बेटर तरीके से उस रैट ट्रैप सेलर को इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकती है. She entered followed by a valet. Valet means servant. The daughter entered with a valet carrying on his arm a big fur coat. Valet servant had a big fur coat. So the peddler was so surprised that somebody has behaved with him so nicely. He accepted the fur coat, which the valet means servant, handed him with a deep bow, threw it over his rats, and followed the young lady out of the carriage without turning the astonished. Astonished means surprised. Blacksmith so much as a glance. So ये जो peddler है, he accepted the fur coat. उसके जो rags थे, जो dirty clothes थे, उसके ऊपर ही उसने इसे wear किया and followed the young lady. और जो blacksmith था, he was surprised. Why he was surprised? क्योंकि उसको लग रहा था that he was going to Iron Master's house. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? He thought. Now I am sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. Now this rat trap seller was thinking about that money that he had stolen. तो वो सोच रहा था कि why I take that fellow's money, कि उस person की money मैंने क्यों चोरी की, और I am sitting in this trap. Now he was also in that trap. The next day was Christmas Eve, and when the Iron Master came into the dining room from breakfast, or probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. The next day was Christmas Eve, and when the Iron Master came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. तो ये जो आयरन मास्टर थे, जब वो ब्रेकफास्ट के लिए आए तो वो भी बहुत ज़्यादा सेटिस्फाइड थे कि किस तरह उनको अपने एक ओल्ड एक्वेंटेंस, अपने ओल्ड एक कॉमरेड जो थे, अपने जो साथी थे, उनसे वो कैसे मिले. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी मस्ट सी टू इट दैट ही गेट्स अ लिटिल फ्लेश ऑन हिज बोन्स, मीन्स ही हैड टू टेक प्रॉपर मील. He said to his daughter, who was busy at the table, and then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat traps. Means they were planning कि first of all they will give them good food, और उसके बाद they will help him to set his business also, कि उसको इस तरह से rat traps को सेल करने के लिए यहाँ से वहाँ ना घूमना पड़े. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and old shoes. Old shoes are types of shoes. But although his guest was now so well groomed, the Iron Master didn't seem pleased. अभी इतनी changes आ गई थी उस rat trap seller में, he was looking very good, but the Iron Master was not happy with his condition. He looked at him with puckered brow, and it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake. What? That now, when he stood there in broad daylight, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. Means जो Iron Master थे, he had taken him as a wrong person. वो actually में उनके acquaintance नहीं थे, and he thought him as his acquaintance. What does this mean? He thundered. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. You must admit that, and I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter. तो आयरन मास्टर ने उसको warn किया to call the sheriff or police. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. Now I am going to tell you. Now he is telling about his ideology. Mr. Iron Master, how things are. He said, this whole world is nothing but a big rat trap. All the good things that are offered to you are nothing but cheese rinds and bits of pork set out to drag a poor fellow. Here rich meaning poor or hungry people, और intercity means who want to make peace among the people. तो डॉटर जो है वो ट्राई कर रही है कि शांति जो पीस बनी रहे और वो जो पर्सन है जो पुअर पर्सन है वो अपनी स्टे करे हमारे घर में. I am thinking of the stranger here, said the young girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome and can feel at home. अभी Edla is telling about the condition of that stranger. कह रही कि पूरा साल ये जो पर्सन है he is going from one place to another और एक single place भी इस country में नहीं है where he can stay. Whenever he turns, he is chased away. Always he is afraid of being arrested and cross-examined. I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us here, just one in the whole year. तो अपने फादर को कह रही है कि मैं चाहती हूँ कि ये जो पर्सन है कम से कम ईयर में one day ऐसा हो that he can spend peacefully. The iron master mumbled. Mumbled means to speak quietly something. अपने कुछ बोल रहे थे वो. Something in his beard. He could not bring himself to oppose her. It was all a mistake, of course, she continued. तो overall तो ये एक mistake ही थी और iron master जो थे it was his mistake. क्यों? क्योंकि उन्होंने उसे wrong recognize किया था. You do preach worse than a parson. Parson means clergy, said the iron master. जो कह रहे कि जो एक clergy है जो preach करते हैं तो मुझसे भी खराब बोल रही हो. I only hope you won't have to regret this. The young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him up to the table. अब वो जो गर्ल थी उसने क्या किया उस स्ट्रेंजर को वो लेके गई और उन्होंने टेबल पे बिठाया. Now sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given in. The man with the letter said not a word. He only sat down and helped himself to the food. तो क्या किया जो रेड ट्रैप सेलर था he was quiet और उसने अपने खाना फूड जो है वो खाने लगा टाइम आफ्टर टाइम. The stranger again went back to his room. It seemed as though for many years he had not been able to sleep as quietly and safely as there at Ramsgate. In the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, they woke him up again, and he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candlelight hurt him, but after that he disappeared again. 2 hours later, he was aroused once more. He then had to go down into the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge. So means he was doing only 2 things. He was sleeping and taking rest. The man with the rat traps didn't answer anything to this. He only stared at the young girl in boundless amazement because the girl was so kind to him. So he didn't answer anything. The next morning, the iron master and his daughter got up in good season to go to the early Christmas service. Their guest was still asleep and they didn't disturb him. तो चर्च में गए फादर और डॉटर दोनों और उन्होंने अपने गेस्ट को डिस्टर्ब नहीं किया. When at about 10 o'clock they dropped back from the church, the girl sat and hung her head even more. Even उन्होंने मिस विलमेंसन के लिए एक गिफ्ट भी दिया है. The young girl opened the package, which was so badly done up that the contents came into view at once. Means packaging was not so good. She gave a little cry of joy. क्या मिला उनको उस गिफ्ट में? What was there? A small red trap. And in it lay, और उसके बीच में क्या थे? 3 wrinkled 10 kroner notes. और जो एक small red trap उसको गिफ्ट में दिया, उसके बीच में जो उसने चोरी किए वो उसके 3 wrinkled 10 kroner के notes थे, वो रखे हुए थे. But that was not all. In the red trap lay also a letter written in large check characters. Honored and noble miss, since you have been so nice to me all day long, as if I was a captain. तो वो एडला को बोल रहे हैं कि you have behaved me like as I am a real captain. So I want to be nice to you in return as if I was a real captain. तो मैं भी आपके साथ वैसा ही behave करना चाहता हूँ जैसे मैं कोई real captain हूँ. For I do not want you to be embarrassed at this Christmas season by a thief, but you can give back the money to the old man on the roadside. पर ये जो मनी है, who has the money pouch hanging on the window frame as a bait for poor wanderers. तो poor people जो strangers से आने वाले हैं उनके लिए ऐसे bait जो उसने एक pouch रखा हुआ है, कह रहा है कि आप क्या करना उसको वो मनी रिटर्न कर देना. Hanging on the window. The rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat. तो ये जो rat trap है एक rat की तरफ से Christmas present है. Who would have been caught in this world's rat trap if he had not been raised to captain? तो अगर आप मुझे एज ए कैप्टन रिगार्ड नहीं करते, रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करते, मुझे काइंडनेस नहीं दिखाते, तो वो कह रहे हैं कि मैं इस रेड ट्रैप में ही रह जाता, बिकॉज इन दैट वे ही गॉट पावर टू क्लियर हिमसेल्फ. सो जो रेस्पेक्ट यू हैव गिवन टू मी, आई ट्राई टू गॉट माई सेल्फ आउट ऑफ दिस रेड ट्रैप. So written with friendship and high regard, Captain Von Stern. So this was all about this chapter, Red Trap. Dear students, question answers we will discuss in our next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.